Hello, something new from SNT today. Haven't had anything from them for a while, and if you remember, quick reminisce here, they started out with these little cars that you could put an FPV camera on, or they supplied one. They also went in these little tiny 4x4s, but they really peaked with the slightly bigger one, this little tiny crawler, which is really good. So today, I think what we've got is their new model, which is a car that can drift. So I'm going to check it out. I'm going to open up the box to see exactly what we've got in here. And again, you can see it's slightly bigger, so it's more on the scale of the crawler, which is a really nice size actually. Also in this box, I've got some tyres. I don't know if they give you drift tyres and regular tyres. Find out in a second. USB charger, little FPV camera that just magnetically goes on the top. A control. They've actually changed this and stepped it up quite a lot. They've got more buttons on and they've got more trims on for different channels, which is quite cool. And we've got the full shebang version, which has these little goggles, charger and antennas in there. And these I found pretty good. They've actually got their own DVR, so there's a slot for your SD card. But let's get this out of the box and see what we've actually got. Okay, we've got a little spoiler attachment, and this is the car itself. It's surprisingly weighty. About the same, it looks like about the same scale and about the same weight as that. Much bigger than the previous ones. And right now it's got these quite grippy tyres on. So yeah, I'm going to get this charged up, take it for a spin, and let's just quickly examine these tyres to see if they're what I think they are. Yep, they are completely slick plastic tyres, so they should slide around like a crazy thing. Yeah, let's charge up, get driving. Welcome to the kitchen. I've charged and powered on this little car. It's still got the grippy tyres on at the moment. And there's, as I mentioned, a few extra bits on the controller here. You've got a steering trim here, which is fairly obvious, but you've also got a throttle dual rate and a steering dual rate, as well as a gyro dial. So I presume it's got a gyro in it for doing the drifting. So with the headlight button, we can turn off, and you've got 2 levels of intensity. With the next button, which is labelled chassis, you've got a light underneath and you can change different colours or turn it off. So I'll keep it on red. Then you've got a button that says FPV box, which generally turns the FPV camera on or off if you've got it fitted. And then I'm not sure what match is. I presume it's a bind. And then we've got brake P1, P2, and I don't know what those are because I didn't get instruction with this, so I believe it's like a pre-release. I'll try and find out what those mean, as well as the gyro thing. But let's just look at it in general. This is with its more grippy tyres, and you can get it to slide, and it's fairly quick. And there's enough range in it so you can drive it fairly slow as well. Let's put these slick tyres on and see what happens, because I think this is the main interesting thing about this little car. Tyres come off pretty easy. Just grab one, roll it out, and so it's a pretty easy thing just to change them over. In a similar-ish way, your slick drift tyres, you just need to basically push them on. There's no real skill to it, and there's no giving them, but yeah, they just push on, pull off. Okay, shall we see if this thing slides? Oh, does it ever? Oh, the spoilers came off. Okay, quite a tight course. 2 cans of Diet Coke. Well, back here, got the little FPV goggles, put an SD card in so I can record it, so you get the actual stuff from it. Upgrade to FPV is really easy. You've got this little magnetic thing here, you just flip that up, you take the camera, it just pops on like that. I've still got the drift tyres. I've never tried FPVing a drift car. I imagine it's very difficult because you haven't got the... If you're going sideways, you can't sort of turn your head and look where you want to go. So I think that'd be interesting, but we'll give it a go, see what happens. I also double checked with the manufacturers about this gyro knob here, and they did confirm there was no gyro, so maybe that's future expansion in different things. Anyway, let's try this thing out, see what happens. Okay, I'm short-sighted, so I can kind of see. It's not too bad. It's about my right vision distance, so let's try driving. Oh, it doesn't feel too unnatural. It's just like... Oh. Okay, didn't actually press record is what I just noticed. So I shall start recording and then I can show you what it looks like from my point of view. Oops. Well, quite honestly, I could do that all day. It's I thought it was going to be very, very tough to do, but it seems like it's more obvious when it goes sideways. You understand where you are and you want to steer out. Not that I was doing it particularly well, but it was pretty good. I'm just going to swap the tyres over because we should at least have a proper FPV drive with it without it slipping all over the place to see what that's like. I expect that's going to be much like a regular car, as you might expect, but it'd be good to try it. Okay, regular tyres on. The drift tyres are quite hard to get off because they're hard plastic. You have to sort of get your nail in and slowly prise them off. The rubber ones are much easier in comparison. We're going to have a drive of this one, see how it does. It seemed when I wasn't in the goggles, it drove a lot better than the small ones because it had a lot more sort of weight and inertia behind it, so it didn't, go into these weird little spins and things. So yeah, we'll just drive it around. We'll try it in the carpet just behind me as well and see if that's okay. Okay. Oh, Christ, it's fast. It's only about half throttle. Go full throttle. Jeez. It seems really quick in the goggles. Wow, this would be great, and even larger. Right, full throttle. Jesus. Not that this doesn't drift at all if you go fast. Right, let's try it on the carpet. Not as fast on carpet, but yeah, it works. Slightly more difficult to control. So little it can sort of go into anywhere. Personally, I think I like the slightly larger scale than the very, very small ones because it's just so much more. It is so quick in comparison. The scale speed feels like we're doing like 100 miles an hour across the floor. It's scary. Oh, not put my glasses. You can hear it. It's so crazy. What's under here? Oh, this is where all the dust lives. Oh yeah. No difference today. I think that's a little bit low. Yeah, there's a camera going clonk. What happens if we pile on? Can we do a burnout? Yeah. So this will still like skid, do 180s and things, but you won't get that nice drift that you can do on the other tyres. Good God, is it quick, scale-wise. Ah! I think I knocked the camera off. Yep. And the spoiler. I'm forever knocking the spoiler off. It just pushes in. Okay. That is so quick. Range on these are only about like 20-30 feet. They don't go far. But if you've got just a house with a bit of floor space, you can have great fun with it. I can't believe how fast this feels. So we can do a bootlegger turn. Yeah. Well, it is actually a lot of fun to drive. I thought it's going to be nothing compared to the Drift. I think I like the Drift better, but that is super quick. If you're in like a sports hall or something, some real space and get yourself a course, that would be a lot of fun, I think. But yeah, I think the drifting wins it for me. And I'm going to put these tyres back on because that was even more fun. Well, if it wasn't obvious, I enjoyed this a lot. The handling in this one, I guess because it's just bigger, is so much better than the very, very tiny cars. And it feels so much faster. With the regular tyres on, the impression of speed you get in the FPV goggles is quite amazing. Also interesting to drive line of sight. And I found it interesting on drift, that I would try and use my throttle control for the drift. And when I was in the FPV goggles, I would just use my steering because I couldn't look at it externally. I'm not sure which one is best. I'm not very good at it. But it's a right laugh to try it, and I feel I'm getting a little bit better. I've had a couple of like 1/10, 1/12 scale drift cars before, and they're much bigger, so a little bit harder to operate inside, where this is just the right size for doing that. If there's a downside, they are not particularly cheap. They are slightly more expensive than you might buy for sort of a budget 1/10 scale. I don't like to talk about prices because prices vary, but it's like $105 for the car or like $120 with the controller. If you want the FPV camera and the goggles as well, then it's up to like $200. Anyway, many thanks to SNI Clo for supplying this. This is called the SNT CA51 and it's 1/43 scale. And of course there'll be links down below if you want to check it out in more detail. Anyway, hope this has been helpful and I'll catch you next video. Bye for now. Well, you've made it to the end of the video, so thanks once again for watching. If you like what you saw, then please consider subscribing, and if you really like what you saw, then be sure to check out the link to my blog for a variety of ways in which you can help support this channel.